So in the screening test, he talked about OIR, 2 pages of verbal and non-verbal. I am not going to accept anybody getting even 99% marks out here. You should be able to score 100% marks. You're not small children not to be able to answer the simple questions that they're going to ask you. And even if they're not simple, you can practice and you can make all the answers. You can answer all the questions correctly. So that's the first day. Second day is called the psychologist day, where you have a range of tests related to your psychology. First is called the word association test. We'll talk about it in great amount of detail. We're going to practice, so don't get worried about ki ye kya ho raha hai. This is called the word association test, where you will be given a set of 60 words and you'll be given very limited time of 15 seconds per word. I tell you all those details. And you're supposed to make a sentence with that word. Now, there'll be positive words, there'll be negative words, there'll be difficult words, there'll be words you won't understand, there'll be words which don't make any sense. बहुत अलग-अलग किस्म के words होंगे. There'll be 60 words, you have to make a sentence. Now, remember one thing, you can fool a lot of them in one instance, or you can fool one person all the time. But the amount of tests that are going to be held, you cannot fool them. So all that you need to do is change your outlook, change your perception, change the way you're going to handle things. Start working on your psychology to make it positive. I'll tell you what you should be working on your psychology, but I also will tell you, and I also will tell you how to make it work. So it is word association test. Then you will come to something called a thematic apperception test. I don't know how many of you open the dictionary and saw what apperception means. If anybody has seen that, can you just tell me what is apperception? Anybody? Did anybody have a look at what is apperception? I told you to have a look last time. Okay. No, I don't get an answer. So I understand that nobody's had a look. It is thematic apperception test. And here you have to perceive or you have to imagine a story out of a picture. And your perception is going to be studied by that guy, and he will tell you whether you are perceiving it in the right sense or not.
We should
Then you
be in
have
positive way. That's all.
not exactly positive. There is
Achha.
everything cannot be positive, but you should be able to find a problem in a situation in a picture and tell a solution to that problem. We'll discuss that. Don't worry. We'll go in a great amount of detail as to what you should do for thematic perception. Then you come to situation reaction test. That means you'll be given about 60 odd situations, very interesting situations. I mean, Ram had been with us last time. We did some situation reaction test, but this time we're going to do more seriously. We're going to, and because I'm expecting responses from you in a more serious manner, so we're going to more seriously. And then finally, a self-description test. Again, this is an art, writing something about yourself. But remember, whatever you write here is going to be reflected in your personality and in the interview that's going to happen. So this is the second day of the psychology test. Remember one thing, if you are not good at writing, in the sense if you are not fast at writing, you should start working towards writing fast, because there are 2 3 things that have to happen in the whole interview, not only here, in anywhere in your life. You have to see a problem, you have to perceive a problem, appreciate a problem, and put that in writing, and also give your solutions to that problem. So, and it has to be happening very fast. You can't take your own time to start, because the moment you're given time, your psychology can be manipulated. So they make sure that they don't give you any time, right? And then for some children, there is something called an interview that happens. Interview will take place. Now, Ram was lucky; he went through an interview with one of my colleagues who was an interviewing officer with the SSB. So we'll put you through interview with some people who have been interviewing officers there, just to give a feel of what happens in the interview, right? And group 3 is group testing. That's going to happen. What's going to happen? You'll have group discussions, beautiful group discussions. You'll have group planning exercise. I will tell you how a group planning exercise is done. You'll be given a situation again with a map, and you all have to sit down and plan a solution to that exercise, right? And you will be doing some group tasks. Now, group tasks are something which we'll not be able to do here because they have to be done physically. But I will explain to you using maps and videos and everything else so that you can do group tasks. Now, in the third day, you will do a progressive group task and a half group task, right? And there will be a group obstacle race. Interesting. You'll have lecture aids. See, group discussions, lecture aids, and interview for some more candidates continues, right? On the fourth day, there will be continuation of group testing, wherein you will have individual obstacles. We'll have more group tasks, final and command, and interview of the remaining candidates, right? So by the day four, all interviews are over. On day five is called conference day, where all the three people who evaluated you, the psychologist, the group testing officer, and the interviewing officer, sit with the president of the services selection board. All four of them will sit there. You are called there, and they will have a final look to see if whatever they have evaluated you as, whether it is correct or not. And then they decide whether you go ahead or not.